guys, it's Jessii Vee, and in today's video I'm going to be telling you about a bunch of different haunted oak trees around the world. One of these oak trees is covered in chains. There's also this tree called Old Knobbly, which was a place where witches went to hide, and it's actually a very disturbing story. There are so many interesting, creepy stories that have to do with these trees, and a lot of these stories come from our real history. But before I jump right into today's video, I have a couple things to tell you. The first is that we have added a bunch more Valentine's Day items to our website. I'm actually wearing one of our heart necklaces right now, and I have our heart earrings on right now. They come in silver and gold, and we have a bunch of new plushies. We've got the Frog Prince, who is wearing a gold crown on his head, and he has this cute little heart on his chest. He's also a super jumbo plushie, which I love, and he's so soft. We also have a Valentine's Day elephant. As you can see, there are hearts in his ears, which I think is so cute. And guys, I think my favorite of them all is that we have gummy bear plushies, and they all have hearts on their chest. They are so cute. They come in 3 different colors, and yeah, I'm gonna put all the links to the plushies and the jewelry down below in the description for you. And the other thing, in case you have not seen my previous 2 videos, I have just launched my very own game with Ripple. It's called Jessii Vee's Monster Chat. In this game, we have haunted dolls, we have ghosts, we have creatures, we have urban legends come to life. We have all the things that you guys love in this game. It's completely free to download, so I will put a link down below in the description along with a pinned comment so it's easy for you guys to find the link. In this game, you'll be helping me solve a monster murder mystery. And if any of you guys watching right now have finished the game and you know who the murderer is, comment the star emoji. Just make sure not to spoil the game. Don't say who it was. Just comment the star emoji so I know you finished it, and so I know that you know. So now we both know. But yeah, link down below in the description. All right, let's get into our very first tree. This one is called the chained oak. The chained oak is an old tree in England that is wrapped in chains to prevent its branches from falling. It's actually quite an eerie sight to see in real life. The long chains are wrapped around the trunk and are dangling down from the branches. And this is due to an alleged curse put upon the tree in 1821. The legend goes that the 15th Earl of Shrewsbury refused a woman's pleas for money. He had been riding in a carriage in the middle of winter, returning home from a grand banquet, when this figure suddenly appeared before them on the road. He could barely see who it was with all the falling snow, so the coach stopped and they could see that it was a very old woman standing there covered in rags. The Earl was apparently disgusted by her appearance, but the woman walked right up to him and asked him if he could spare some money for an old beggar woman. But the Earl mocked her request, so she placed a wicked curse on him and his family. For every branch that falls from the oak tree, a member of the Earl's family would die. He didn't believe it at first, but later that night, one of the Earl's relatives died suddenly under mysterious circumstances. It turns out there was a violent storm and a lightning bolt severed a branch from the oak. And as the curse had warned, one of his family members died. So now convinced that the curse was true, the Earl ordered that the branches of the oak should be chained up to prevent more from falling. And whether this legend is true or not, this oak has been fastened with chains for many, many years. Apparently this oak is approximately 13,000 years old, which is crazy. Okay, our next tree is called Oak of the Witches. An enchanting oak tree thrives within a Tuscan forest. Its thick, mossy branches stretch horizontally, giving it a strange, squashed appearance. The old tree goes by many names and has inspired its fair share of legends and lore. According to this one local legend, witches used to gather at this 600-year-old tree. They danced wildly atop its gnarled branches, transforming the plant into a stage for their chants and ceremonies, and supposedly their rituals actually stunted the tree's growth, causing it to have this very warped shape. So it started to reach outward instead of upward because they were always atop it, kind of squishing it down. Children around the world also believe that Carlo Collodi, the man that wrote Pinocchio, sat beneath its large branches while he was writing the story, so people also call this tree Pinocchio's oak. Okay, then we have the tree called Old Knobbly. At 800 years old, Old Knobbly is one of the oldest oak trees in England, named for its twisted and gnarled appearance. It's apparently more than 13 feet tall and 36 feet wide. And over all of its years of growth, it has been through a lot. It's been struck by lightning, it's been ravaged by a fire, it's housed a giant hornet's nest, and according to local folklore, it has sheltered alleged witches from Britain's most infamous and ruthless witch hunter named Matthew Hopkins. In the 17th century, this witch hunter was responsible for the execution of 300 accused witches in just 2 years, and it's believed that Old Knobbly was used as a sanctuary for the witches that he hunted. Those accused of being witches could find shelter and hope of safety in the cracks and crevices of the old oak. If you look at pictures of this tree, it has a bunch of holes in it, it has a bunch of places that would be perfect for someone to hide, especially in the late hours of the night. It's perfectly shadowed. So a ton of these women would come to this tree and would hide in hopes that he wouldn't find them. And he usually wouldn't because this tree was such a good shelter. And I've done a couple videos on the witch trials, so you know how horrible they were. So it's kind of amazing that this tree is still around even though it was housed for protection for these accused witches. And lastly, we have the angel oak tree. Angel oak has a vast history and many think it is the oldest of all of the living things east of the Mississippi River. It is now about 65 feet high and the branches go about 17,000 square feet. The tree is about 400 years old and gets 40,000 visitors every single year. And during the day, tourists come out to see this beautiful tree and they can just appreciate all of its history and how old the tree really is. But at night, the tree brings a ghostly energy that has been seen and felt by many. There's this one story that comes from 2008 about a couple who had just been married. They wanted to go back to the tree to spend some time there under the light of the moon together. And they said that as soon as they walked up to the tree, they felt this strange energy. It was like something they had never felt before. Then they said they saw what they thought were spirits. They said that there were glowing shadows of humans and they were all over the tree. The woman even said that some of the spirits looked like they were hanging from the branches. And what's very disturbing is that the story of them seeing these spirits does match up with the history of the tree because slaves were apparently hung from this tree back in the day. The land did serve as a plantation in the past. So as beautiful as people thought the tree was, it had a horrible, horrible history. And so these poor spirits were making themselves known to people, especially at night. There's actually another story about a couple who had gone to this tree just after they had been married, and the man started carving their initials into the trunk of the tree. And as he was carving, they began to hear all of these noises around them, all of this screaming, sort of like sounds of torture. They said it almost sounded like they were suddenly surrounded by a mob of angry people. So the husband put the knife away, stopped carving the tree, and that's when they saw these bright flashes of faces all through the branches of different spirits. So they ran as fast as they could away from the tree and told everyone what they saw. So yeah, this tree has a horrible past. It is very haunted, just like the other ones that I spoke about, and it is insane how many haunted trees there are around the world. So if you want me to make this more into a series, give this video a thumbs up and let me know. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and don't forget, if you would like any of our new Valentine's Day plushies or any of the new jewelry that I am wearing, I have linked it down below along with the game Jessii Vee's Monster Chat. I hope you guys play it and enjoy it, but I also hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!